The OnePlus 8T recently released and it cost around $300 cheaper than its bigger brother, the OnePlus 8 Pro. Aside from their cameras, they have very similar specifications on paper. Both have Qualcomm's Snapdragon 865 processing chip, both have LPDDR5 RAM, though we have 8 on the 8T, we have 12 on the 8 Pro, and both have UFS 3 storage, though the OnePlus 8T has the latest UFS 3.1 as opposed to UFS 3.0 on the OnePlus 8 Pro, Android 11 on the 8T, and Android 10 on the 8 Pro. Both of them have 120Hz refresh rates, and we're going to be dropping the 8 Pro down to Full HD Plus to match that of the 8T. We've also left animations enabled over here, and we've made sure that no battery optimizations are set for the apps that we'll be using today. Round 1 will be all about boot, fingerprint, and face unlock. Round 2 will be initial opening and app speed, and round 3 will be all about RAM management. Using my fingers over here, so to keep things accurate, we're going to pop GoPro footage at the bottom left-hand corner. This is TechNick, and without further ado, let's go! We're going to start with a simple boot here in round 1 to see which device can start up the phone faster. It is slightly quicker on the 8 Pro compared to the 8T, picking up its first points in round 1 and actually going into the devices themselves, loading the actual app icons. The 8T pulls back here, now getting its first points in round 1. We have the exact same under display fingerprint sensor. It is indeed optical underneath the displays of both devices over here, and it is neck and neck every single time. 3 draws a piece there, so no point was allocated. When it comes to facial recognition, we don't have anything secure here, just 2D facial recognition systems in both of the selfie cams of both of the phones, and the OnePlus 8 Pro was faster every single time, picking up its second points and closing off round 1 with a lead. Making sure that we hooked up to the same Wi-Fi network, max brightness, and all apps are closed in the background. We're going to start round 2 with the camera app. Going into the camera app over here, the OnePlus 8 Pro opened it up quicker, and flipping to the selfie cam, it was too close to call. Taking the snap, the 8 Pro is actually quicker, but the 8T actually saved its gallery quicker, so no point was allocated over there. And the next app that we have, next system app that is Gallery, which the OnePlus 8 Pro opens up quicker because it loaded the actual picture we took slightly faster this time around. And going into the actual picture, it was too close to call. Next app is a calculator, once again too close to call over here. Now we're going to do a little sum just to give you guys a little bit of a mathematics lesson. And going into the next app, which is indeed the phone app, once again too close to call. Last system app that we'll be jumping into here is indeed settings, which surprisingly the OnePlus 8 Pro actually opened up slightly quicker, though we do have a new settings interface on the 8T with Oxygen OS or Hydrogen OS 11. Going into speed check and internet speed test, it was too close to call when opening up the app. And now we're going to run the speed test. We're not really going to be checking out download upload speed, but more so how long it actually takes to do the test. So 21 seconds for the OnePlus 8T, and can the OnePlus 8 Pro beat it? No, it can't. 21.5 seconds. So the OnePlus 8T picked up its first point in round 2 as opposed to 3 for the OnePlus 8 Pro. Going into our next app over here, which is indeed Spotify. Too close to call over there. I've never had that one happen before. And the next app is made by Adobe Photoshop Express, a photo editing app. And going into the 8 Pro was slightly quicker in opening up the app and going into the photo as well. Now we're going to go ahead and hit export. The UFS 3.1 storage on the 8T should be quicker, but it wasn't. The UFS 3.0 on the 8 Pro actually said save to gallery at the bottom of the screen quicker than the 8T, getting its 6th point in round 2. So far dominating the 8T, now it's 7th point after opening up Adobe Premiere Rush over here slightly faster, and going into our video project slightly quicker as well. We're going to take this 4K 25 frames per second file, we're going to compress it down to 1080p, match the frame rate of 25 frames per second, and hit export on both devices at the same time. I've sped it up bottom right hand corner when we start exporting right now, and let's see which one can take it, the UFS 3.1 storage on the 8T or the 3.0 on the 8 Pro. The UFS 3.1 storage on the 8T actually took it this time 1.5 seconds quicker than the 8 Pro via, getting the OnePlus 8T 2 points now in round 2 as opposed to 8 on the 8 Pro. The OnePlus 8 Pro quickly strikes back, opening up Astral VPN slightly faster, but the 8T strikes back once more, turning it on slightly quicker. We need a VPN here in China in order to open up our next run of apps. First one is indeed Facebook, which they both open up at the same time and loaded different things at different times, but ended off with the same result time over there, so no point was allocated. Slightly different for Instagram over here, where the OnePlus 8 Pro picks up its first double-digit point with 10 points now as opposed to 3 on the 8T. Same thing with Twitter over here, picking up its 11th point there. Going into YouTube over here, they opened them up pretty similarly, but the OnePlus 8T actually loaded the entire page quicker over there, picking up its 4th point in round 2. Next thing that we'll be doing in YouTube is going over to my channel, which the 8 Pro opens up slightly quicker, and opening up one of my videos over here. The OnePlus 8T opens it up quicker, plays it quicker, and loads the entire page quicker, getting it its 5th point in round 2, just 7 points behind that of the 8 Pro. can't really say just 7. That's a pretty big difference. Going into Netflix, the 8T was quicker in opening it up, and going into my profile over here, now just a 5-point difference between the two devices. And going into Google Chrome, it was too close to call over here. Now we're going to go into our first game of 4 here, being Subway Surfers. Since we got the new user interface for Subway Surfers, it takes a bit longer to load than previous times, and we got its 13th points toward the OnePlus 8 Pro, slightly opening up that game faster. Third last game over here is indeed Flip Diving, a little quicker to load than Subway Surfers, and jumping into it, it was way too close to call over here, so no point was allocated. The next game that we have, second last game, second last app of the 20, is indeed Temple Run 2. Sped it up, slowed it back down, and no surprise, the OnePlus 8 Pro opened it up quicker using Android 10 as opposed to Android 11 on the 8T. I haven't got my update for the 8 Pro yet. It is at the latest available software stage on Android 10. The 8 Pro that is indeed. But the 8T does indeed open up PUBG Mobile in 13.5 seconds as opposed to the 16 on the 8 Pro, making it slightly quicker to open up a graphics intense game. Closing off round 2 with 8 points on the 8T as opposed to 14 on the 8 Pro. When it comes to RAM management, neither phone should have any problems keeping 20 apps open, and they don't at all over here. Both of them have LPDDR5 RAM. That is what matters. The difference between 8 and 12 gigs of RAM is so minimal unless you want to keep 50 or 100 apps open in the background. But if you just have 20 over here, as you can see, no points have been allocated because neither phone has killed an app over here. They've all kept them nice and snug open. Total score here, 9 points for the OnePlus 8T as opposed to 16 for the OnePlus 8 Pro. If we focus just on raw speed, that is indeed round 2. We get 8 points for the OnePlus 8T as opposed to 14 for the OnePlus 8 Pro. So the OnePlus 8 Pro did indeed get a 6-point lead in terms of performance. Hopefully we get improvements to the 8T with future software updates. This is TechNick, and I'll see you in the next one.